Flo's underlying aim had been to reassert some of her leadership of the group, but Gordy wasn't having it. I don't even let Diane lead the damn group. Now, she could lead all the songs, but I'm still telling her what to do. Hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com for this ultimate animal print turban and these super fly shades. Ooh, you asked for them and here they are. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about the Law Supreme, the life of a dream girl, Florence Ballard. Tommy Chapman was Barry's chauffeur, flunky, whatever you want to call it, said Flo. Tommy would pack Gordy's stuff, his suit and clothes, and this and that. He also worked with Mary. I was kind of a standoffish type, Flo said. I wasn't that interested in too many guys. I never have been. One was always enough for me. She also discussed the love lives of her fellow Supremes. Mary had a friend in Puerto Rico, very good looking Puerto Rican. He was crazy about Mary. I mean crazy. He was real jealous, but she ended up marrying another Puerto Rican, Pedro Ferrer. Diane dated Timmy Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think there was too much to it. That's the only person I can remember her dating, except for Berry Gordy. Now, we know from the Mary Wilson book that Berry Gordy wasn't happy about the eventual combining the Tommy Chapman and Flo. He thought that Flo was too good for Tommy Chapman. By 1969, the gossip columns would call Gordy and Ross constant companions, and the question most asked about them was why they didn't marry. Gordy said in 1970 that he and Ross haven't chosen to be married for several reasons. Then he laughed and added that he had tried to marry her a couple of times. But why should she marry me when she got me already? She's free, rich, and talented. Get married for what? Child, that's the goop. Berry Gordy done played on her head. Don't you want to be young, single, and free? Yeah, because if you marry me, you can't run out there and schmooze and finagle with all them other men. Shortly after Gordy issued this statement, Ross would become pregnant with Gordy's child later named Rhonda. During the pregnancy, she married Gordy's friend, a public relations executive named Robert Ellis Silverstein, who was aware of Rhonda's parentage. You say what? Okay, dig this. When we read Call Her Miss Ross and Mary Wilson's book, it seemed like Diana was irritated at the fact that Berry Gordy was always hanging around. She was annoyed at the fact that these two giggling and kikiing and cooing together like we brother husbands. I didn't know that Bob was Berry Gordy's friend first. Okay, now we all know that Bob Silverstein is not the first friend or co-worker that Diana Ross has hunched of Berry Gordy. She messed with Brian Holland, Smokey Robinson, and Eddie Kendrick. So it ain't like she's opposed to sleeping or messing with somebody that knows Berry Gordy. During the pregnancy, she married Gordy's friend, a public relations executive named Robert Ellis Silverstein, who was aware of Rhonda's parentage. The whole company is surprised and hurt by it, Motown executives said of the merge. The company may have been surprised and hurt, but Gordy's feeling at the time remained unclear. He and Silverstein continued their friendship, often traveling together. Ross and Silverstein divorced in 1977 after having 2 daughters of their own. That would be the Tracy and the Chutney. In October 1985, Ross married Norwegian businessman Arne Ness Jr. She saw a kindred spirit in Ness. He was divorced, had 3 children, and like Ross, had an ambition that wouldn't quit. Ness died in a mountain climbing accident in Africa in 2004. The Supremes had started as girlhood friends, worked their way to the top as hardworking young women, and gained international fame as talented, glamorous superstars. Along the way, their friendship had been sorely tested, and the struggle for each woman's position within the group had become increasingly bitter. The Supremes' star had risen. Florence had begun to feel her role diminish. In February 1963, when the group had been recording a country and western album on which Florence had been given the lead on one of the tunes, according to Flo, Diana broke off the recording, walked into the control room, and told the producers that she was the lead for all the songs. Mary and I heard it through the earphones, and neither one of us could believe it, Flo said. We had started out as children. That's what we were. 14 or 15, and I felt that because of our relationship, the lead should have been spread around, as in you do this and I'll do that. But it wasn't. Diane wanted the complete lead, the complete control of the group. That's why she is the boss. I know y'all hate the lady. I know y'all hate her. But how long you gonna hate her for being the one who's willing to climb every mountain, swim every sea? Think about it this way, because I know some of you husbands going to hate the boss forever, but Diana Ross is the boss. Let me explain to you something. If I'm working with a female, okay, me and that female working together, we got the same position, all right, but I see that female climbing through the ranks quicker than I am. And I know that this is happening because she is sucking on either a man or woman, dog, cat, whatever it is she got to suck on to get to that higher position and the bag. How long am I going to be mad for? If I'm going to stay in this position, so, and complain, yeah, you know she done suck dick in the building, as she steadily climbs the ladder to success. I've seen it happen before. Am I going to sit there, report it, and then have to face retaliation? Retaliation is very real, because you know them damn jobs, they might not get you the same month that you reported their homeboy. Oh, but they're going to get you, girl. You will always be in the back of somebody's mind. And it might not be next month. It might not be next year. But there will be retaliation. Oh, the bitch left bubblegum under the seat. Next minute you know you fired on some bullshit because you done reported homegirl and the owner's best friend hunching in the bathroom. Or you gonna quit? Gordy agreed that Diana should be the lead. According to Nelson George, ooh, I love that man, y'all. I think he is so intelligent. According to Nelson George, author of Where Did Our Love Go, Barry dismissed Flo's aspirations as a lead performer at a rehearsal at a Detroit nightclub, the Rooster Tail, in front of most of the Motown brass. Flo was allegedly only 4 bars into People who need people are the luckiest people. Flo was allegedly only 4 bars into People when Gordy told her to stop. Let Diana do the song, Gordy said. Flo flinched visibly and began crying, according to George. With that, the battle for lead singer was effectively over, and Ross had won. While the undeniable commercial success of the combination of HDH songwriting and Diana's leads, coupled with her hard work and crossover appeal, many have made her the favorite candidate for permanent lead supreme. It was undoubtedly Berry Gordy's admiration of her that sealed the deal. His decision to back Diana totally over Flo also demonstrated how little Gordy cared about race and how much he cared about success and money. Diana's push for vocal dominance succeeded at a price. Apart from straining personal relationships, it also diminished the musical quality of the group. From then on, various Supremes producers urged Flo to stand far back from the microphone to prevent her distinctive emotion-filled voice from overwhelming Ross's lead. Florence fought for the Supremes' musical purity as well as her own role in the group. When the women were recruited in 1967 to record the title song for the movie The Happening, Gordy wanted to add 3 additional singers behind Flo and Murray to buttress Diane's lead. Flo objected, telling Gordy, "Look, Barry, we're getting paid for doing these tunes. I'm not going to work and have these other girls singing with me. To me, they're not the group. They're just a whole bunch of other people. We started off singing 3 together, and I think it should stay like that." Gordy complied in this instance, but Flo's victory was short-lived. Despite her objections, the voices of these singers, Jackie Hicks, Marlene Burrow, and Levain Demps, called the Adantes. Ooh, I heard them with some singing, bitches. Were added to several other Supremes tunes. Later, Ross's lead vocal was sometimes even recorded and mixed with only the Adantes' recorded voices so that records could be produced faster while all 3 Supremes were out performing live. When the Adantes performed this service, it sometimes hurt the song. Otherwise, decent songs such as Forever Came Today, The Composer, and No Matter What Sign You Are, all hacked by the Adantes, nevermore higher than number 28 on the charts. Now that's karma. I love karma when it happens, y'all. I love it. I love it. It makes me tingle. It makes me tingle. I love karma. You know? Because I leave karma up to the Lord and the universe. I don't never take revenge on nobody. Nobody. Anybody that has done me dirty can say I have never done anything to them but take my love and or friendship away from them. The Adantes didn't profit much from their labor. After Motown left Detroit in 1972, they got different jobs, Flo said. One moved to Atlanta. I saw one at the state fair, Jackie. She was working somewhere. I forgot where. Just a common job. In show business terms, the women who had tried to imitate the original Supremes were never heard from again. In any case, the feisty Florence Ballard continued to fight again for her diminishing role in the group she had founded by speaking up on behalf of what she perceived to be group interests. In between nightclub acts, if we came home, Flo said, we'd be doing recording. We never really had that much of a vacation, and I believe that sometimes we were overworked because we worked practically the whole year without a break. And if we did come to Detroit, we were working because we were still recording, which is a job too. I objected. Flo's underlying aim had been to reassert some of her leadership of the group, but Gordy wasn't having it. I don't even let Diane lead the damn group. Now, she could lead all the songs, but I'm still telling her what to do. Flo also fought back in other counterproductive ways. Right or wrong, she believed that her founding and early domination of the group, along with her talent, should have made her the Supreme's permanent leader, and that should have the enduring right to sing the lead on at least some songs. When leadership was denied her, she sometimes became sullen and angry. Generally happy, playful, and funny, she could also display a quick temper and sometimes times responded to what she interpreted as insults or attempts to limit her freedom by challenging the offender verbally or even physically. That's right, Flo. That's right, motherfucker. That's right. I can see Flo like hovering over top of the Barry Gordy and being like, what you say, motherfucker? Say that shit again. Say it to my face. Up. You can't. It has been alleged that one occasion she threw a drink in Gordy's face, which, if true, certainly would have made her situation worse. Oh, yeah, I read that. I think I read that in Mary Wilson's book. Soon, Flo discovered another outlet for her anger and frustration. Comedy. I said I can't sing people anymore. I'll start doing some comedy. It just dropped out of the sky. Growing up, I used to jump around and kid around and this and that, but I never knew I had comedy potential. Following a Motown script of onstage banter, Diana had started referring to Flo on stage behind her as the fat one. You know you can't say that in 2023. Oh my God, they would say that this bitch was body shaming. One night, Flo retorted, deep-voiced and unscripted. Honey, fat is where it's at. Laughter engulfed the crowd, and Sammy Davis Jr., who was in the audience, jumped straight into the air out of his seat and began applauding wildly. Flo had neither planned this event nor anticipated the audience reaction, and her boldness frightened her. I was shocked. I was looking around and saying to myself, what did I do? Where did I get the nerve to interrupt the act? I didn't even know I was that funny. It just came out of my mouth and out of nowhere. I was just ad-libbing on stage. Barry Gordy came backstage after the performance and told me, you stole the show. And I said to myself, uh-oh, stole the show. And she worried, because she can't steal the show from the Diane. She can't do that, yo. After her worry subsided, however, she began planning her guerrilla attacks in advance. One song had a line, gold won't bring you happiness. And I'd say, wait a minute, honey. Give me some of that gold and I'll do my own shopping. Another version of this dialogue emerged when Diana would sing, you may be rich, you may possess the world and all its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. And Flo would respond, now wait a minute, honey. I'm not so sure about that. That's funny coming from Flo, who's like the most non-material, money-grubbing lady in the entire universe. If anybody ain't money-grubbing, it's Flo. And we know this because she married and got pregnant by Tommy the Chapman, Barry Gordy's chauffeur. Ain't no money there. After a while, Flo recalled, I knew exactly what to say and how to say it. I would wait until the audience had stopped applauding and then deliver another line. Her fans compared her to Pearl Bell. It was Flo in whom Gordy first saw Hollywood potential. Y'all better tune in tomorrow. You hear me? Because when I tell you I'm about to give you huzzy some tea, y'all better tune in tomorrow. I'm not playing with you hoes. See you tomorrow.